Good morning, my dear students. All of you are welcome in this morning session of English literature. I am Dr. Naresh Aggrwal going to represent a very beautiful story, highly touching and pathetic story written by William Sidney Porter, who adopted his name O. Henry as a pen name. So let me start. The title of the story is The Gift of Magi. Is very interesting and popular story written by O. Henry. Just in the beginning, I have taught you that O. Henry is the pen name of William Sidney Porter. It is very simple and highly touching story of deep love. In that story, the young couple Jim and Della bear for each other. They are very poor but want to give a precious Christmas gift to each other. So each of them sells his or her most valuable possession to buy a Christmas gift for each other. Della sells her most valuable long hair to buy a platinum chain of gold watch for her husband. Likewise, Jim sells his gold watch to buy a beautiful costly set of combs of tortoise shells for her long hair to give her as a Christmas gift. But these gifts are useless for each other because they had already sold their priceless possessions to buy suitable and costly gifts for each other. Dear listeners, the title of the story is very apt and suitable. So let us discuss. The Gift of Magi has a reference to the story of three wise men of East who bring nice presents for the baby Christ. We cannot use those gifts. These gifts were very costly and valuable. The Christmas gifts brought by Jim and Della were also very valuable, but the gifts were useless for each other as they had already lost the possession for twice the one purchased a gift for the other. But the gifts signified the deep and true love. So, the title of the story is very appropriate. Now, let us discuss the plot of the story. It is very simple plot, and there is no subplot in the text of the story. So, there is no complicated plot in this narrative. Whatever is there, it suits the theme of the story. No subplot we see there to distract the mind of the spectators or the listener or the audience. The reader or the spectators or the audience concentrate himself upon the main and the only theme in the story. His attention is focused on the deep and true love between the husband and the wife. The theme or the central thought of the story is that the gift of love is the only gift of the wise. It is explicitly kept in the closing paragraph of the story. This theme is well illustrated by a single episode in the life of a poor couple. The characterization of the story: there are only two characters in the story, Jim and Della. Thus, there are few and not many characters in the story, so the mind of the reader has not to do a struggle to understand various themes because only one theme is there. It's a very successful attempt at characterization. The character of Della is portrayed for us in very agreeable manner. Characters of Jim and Della are fine portraits in the story. One more point is there that the manner and matter suit to each other. Very simple and interesting language has been utilized for the text of the story. The story is remarkable for its comprehension and brevity. The clarity of thinking, the clarity of expression is seen everywhere. The whole theme has been essayed with a story compass. The style is equally suited to the theme of the story. There are references to Queen Sheba and King Solomon. Della's hair have been likened to a cascade of brown waters. Thus, the style of the story is elegant but very simple. Simple but elegant. The writer actually throws out some random reflections on life. He says that life is made up of, yes, really, human life is made up of sobs, sniffles, and smiles with sniffles predominating, etc. Della uses one special sentence in the story. Expenses had been greater than she had calculated. So by only this single statement we can understand the social needs and status of the characters. However, a pathetic and heart-touching story takes place. The poor condition of the couple, and even in this condition, the desire to give costly Christmas gifts to each other is an expression of pathos in the story. A pathetic scene comes before us when we find that each of them sacrifice their dearest possession to purchase gifts for each other. These gifts too become useless as they did not possess the things for which those costly gifts were bought. So, the moral tone of the story of the gift of Magi is reflected everywhere in the text of the poem. However, my dear students, we have to discuss the story in brief. Jim and Della are two affectionate and loving souls. They are poor dear. Della has only $1.87, which she has saved laboriously. It is a petty amount to purchase a nice gift for her husband. Her dearest possession is her very long hair, which anybody may envy. She sells her hair for $20 and adding $1 from her own dollar and 87 cents. She purchases a platinum chain for gold watch of her husband. She will give it to her husband as a Christmas gift. Jim has no money, but he also wants to give a fine and costly Christmas gift to his wife. Jim has a gold watch which he has inherited from his ancestors. Jim sells his gold was to purchase a costly set of combs for Della's hair. He will give this set of combs to his wife as Christmas gift. This deep loving regard for each other without caring for themselves is very rare to find in this modern world. Moreover, very pathetic situation happens when they present their gifts to each other. They realize their mistakes, but their affection for each other is not diminished, it is highlighted. It shows that they fully know the real purpose of giving presents. The writer compares them to the three wise men of the East called the Magi. They had gone from the far East to give presents to babe Christ on birthday. Hence, it is conspicuous that Della and Jim were the wisest among all, as the one biblical story to reads. It happens also in Bible, in the Old Testament of the Bible. A worldly wise and materialistic man of today thinks otherwise. Dear students, बहुत ही हृदय को स्पर्श करने वाली कहानी जिम और डेला की है, जो अपनी पर्सनल पोजेशन एक दूसरे को गिफ्ट देने के लिए बेचते हैं, लेकिन जब वो गिफ्ट खरीद लेते हैं वो उनके कोई काम नहीं आती। ओनली सच्चा प्यार यहाँ पर प्रदर्शित किया गया है, जो इस संसार में आज के दिन संभव नहीं है। यहाँ पर एक छोटी सी और बात है, जो लेडीज़ है, हर डियरेस्ट पोजेशन उसके लॉन्ग हेयर है, लंबे लंबे बाल, वो उसके लिए कंघी लेके आता है, जो कि बाल उसके रहे नहीं, उसने बालों को बेच दिया और उसने अपनी वो चीज़, मतलब इस प्रकार से कहानी एक हृदय स्पर्शी बनती चली जाती है कि वो गिफ्ट एक दूसरे के लिए परचेज़ करते हैं पर वो काम नहीं आती। वो कंघी उसको गिफ्ट करता है, वो कंघी उसके काम नहीं आती। वो गोल्ड वॉच को उसके लिए जो कॉस्ट पे लगा देते हैं। इस प्रकार से यहाँ पर बहुत ही सैक्रिफाइस, त्याग, बलिदान, सच्चा प्यार पति पत्नी का एक दूसरे के लिए प्रदर्शित किया गया है। बाइबल में, ओल्ड टेस्टामेंट में भी यह स्टोरी घटित होती है। ओके डियर स्टूडेंट्स, काफ़ी हद तक समझ रहे होंगे। जय हिंद, जय भारत। थैंक यू।